Hey everybody, welcome. Uh, we're just getting started here this evening. We're hoping that everybody's enjoying the Jitsi meet. What's happened here is I've started it. Rusty's going to come in and take over, and he'll finish it up. So it'll be just like the normal chat meet. I just have to walk him through exactly how to take over the stream. Here comes Rusty.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey guys.
Anybody home?
Hey, Rusty.
Hey. Well, I made it. Hey, Sparky.
Hey, in order to take the stream over, you have to open up YouTube, log into my channel, go to live streaming, and on the left, you have to go to the live control room.
Okay, hang on. Let me get into your YouTube and then you can talk me through it. I'm opening it now.
It's the bottom, and you got to do it exactly like I tell you. So
Okay. All right. I'm still waiting for it to open right now. So.
Yeah, okay. I understand. See.
Come on, YouTube.
Yeah, using a lot of bandwidth, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna change. Got to switch accounts to Stunt Hangar. There we go. Switching accounts. I'll let you know when it switches over. Okay. Now I'm on the Stunt Hangar YouTube account. You want me to go to Creator Studio or something?
No, do it exactly like I'm going to explain here.
Okay.
On the left, go to live streaming. Click on live streaming, and then there's three options: stream now, events, and live control room. Go to events.
Okay, hang on just a second. Still waiting for that column to open. Okay, so yeah, live streaming. I did have to open Creator Studio.
Right.
I clicked on live streaming. Wait till it populates and I'll tell you what it says. Come on. Okay, live streaming. Stream now, events, and live control room.
Go to events.
Got it. Clicking on it. It's not open yet, but it is opening. Okay.
Okay. Up there, you'll see the stream, edit, and then the button live control room. Hit live control room there.
Got it. Okay. I clicked on it. That doesn't mean it's open yet. Stunt Hangar Monday night hangout. Still opening. Opening. Come on, y'all. All right. Now we're open.
Tell me what that live control room looks like.
It says stop streaming. It says live 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Stream status good. August 5th, 2019.
Okay. Now on the left under events, it'll say another live control room, new.
Click new. Okay.
You see that?
Yeah. You want me to click on new?
Listen to what I'm saying. Right click live control room and open that in a new tab and tell me what you see.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, tab's opening, and let's see what's going to be in that tab. It's still loading. Still loading the tab. Still loading the tab. All right, it's about to do something.
Should be a black screen.
It's black now. Yeah, nothing's in it, but it's black.
It should have a Stunt Hangar videos, a big one with a blue button on the bottom, live dashboard.
It looks like that's what's popping up, and now it is. Yeah.
Okay, click on live dashboard and tell me what you get.
All right. Okay. Stunt Hangar Monday night. Hangout. People in blogs. Concurrent viewers 8. 557 in a live window in the corner, top left corner. It's muted.
Okay, in the right hand upper corner, does it say end stream?
Yep.
Don't click that.
Okay.
Okay, this is the window that you have to detach from the rest and minimize.
Okay.
Detach it.
Wait a minute. Now, how do I detach this window?
Go up to the top and grab the tab and just move it over to the left and down. It'll detach.
Oh, damned if it doesn't. I didn't know that. Okay.
Now minimize that.
Okay.
That's where you're going to end the stream tonight.
Okay. Meanwhile, can I just click the pause button on the feed that's on that tab so it doesn't eat up my bandwidth?
I would not. Yeah,
Okay.
I would not.
Okay.
I haven't tried that, but I wouldn't.
Okay. We'll wait until we know more and can experiment for that. So I'll leave it open. It's good. Okay. So I didn't know you could do that. I just learned something. So,
All right.
okay,
So
we're good.
you now have control of the live stream, I believe.
Looks like it to me.
Well,
Thank you.
I have it open on this end as well. You look at the right, if you're looking at that black screen, Jack Snavely said, how are you? Or, hey, there you are again. And Bishop says, hey. So you can.
Oh, wait, I'm not seeing any chat.
No, don't do nothing. You've minimized that screen.
Got it. Okay.
So just stay on Jitsi. And when
Yeah.
you get ready to end the stream, go back to that one and hit end stream. And that ends it and close out Jitsi.
Okay. Now that chat you were just talking about, I can pop that out and park it where I can see it. Will that be all right?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. In that case, looks like I got it. Yeah, pop out chat and minimize. And okay, now I got a YouTube chat and I've got a big Jeff Riley face and I see somebody up there in the top corner. Oh, see Jared Hay. Yep, and Steve Hines. Okay. Rock and roll. Thank you, Sparky. Are we set now?
Yeah, we're all set.
Excellent.
Right.
Well, good evening, everybody,
Great.
and thanks for joining. And this might be my last broadcast for a while. I'm going into the hospital again, so Friday I probably won't be here. If I am, I probably won't be in the kind of mental shape I need to be to do a show. But we'll hang out tonight as long as we can. Maybe till midnight. Probably not longer than that. But thanks for coming, and all you guys in the YouTube chat box, remember there is a super chat $ at the bottom of the chat box if you want to drop us a couple of nickels for Sparky server fees and all the things that he needs to run the show and to broadcast live from places like the Nats, Triple Tree, Huntersville, Brodak, and my hobby budget too. So drop some on that if you're so inclined. If not, that's okay. We understand. And with that, let's carry on and talk about airplanes. Who's doing what? What you got there, guy? What you got going there, Irish man? You're the one that just got the big screen, so I'll ask you first.
Well,
Why are you so big? Let's see.
Have
I
no
probably got.
out here painting.
Say what?
I'm out here painting. I got most of the cockpit part of it done, ready to glue the canopy on and fill that, and then start with some color.
Cool.
Ah,
Did anybody watch the rerun from the other night that we did? I looked at it and it came out really nice, and all of the switching between who's talking switches nicely, regardless of what the hell I'm doing, whether I'm switching or highlighting somebody. It gives priority to whoever's apparently making the most noise, or I don't know if it's motion sensitive too. But yeah, or I like this.
I liked it last week. I mean, or yeah, it was last week, Friday. I thought it worked great.
I think so too. It sounds good. We got to get used to the fact that everybody can and talk at the same time, and just learn, learn how to deal with that. But we had to, get used to the protocol on the old Hangouts too. And so good riddance, Hangouts. Hope we don't get demonetized for saying that, Sparky.
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? If it was predictable, it wouldn't be any fun.
So,
So,
Russ,
Taylor, did you finish getting the Chrome job done? Is that it in the? Is that on the window behind you?
Yeah, the combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Ah,
That's a flying mirror.
Yeah, I flew it the other day, so I got
I got to do something with that Chrome. I like that.
I got some red Russian stars I'm going to put on it. But I haven't got them on yet. But
uh-oh,
Yeah.
collusion.
That thing would be an annoying combat plane to fly against.
It would. It'll blind you and beat you at the same time.
maybe it would teach you not to look at the airplane and go for the streamer.
Let's see that wing, Jared. That blue airplane behind you.
this is a Nobler. It used to belong to Jason Pearson.
That turned out nice.
Yeah, so I had a slight mishap in Fargo. As you can see, I did an inverted touch and go, so I'm rebuilding the rudder. So, working on that tonight.
You got all the pieces?
That'll teach you to try those outside triangles.
Yeah, well, it happened on the square 8, on the second 8. Just as I pulled bottom, I hit a real bad downdraft, and it just slammed it in the ground before I could do anything, and it sheared the rudder off. So, got to rebuild a rudder. So, other than that, really no damage.
Did it still fly after you knocked the rudder off, or did it break?
No, it killed the motor, and so I just glided it around, inverted, and then landed it in the grass.
Cool.
So, but yeah, only damage is the prop and the rudder essentially.
So you got all the parts to where you can piece it back together or make a new.
Well, that's what I'm kind of working on now. It's basically just a couple of stick and a framework of a rudder, and they were pulverized, when I hit the asphalt. So
Take a piece of 3/8 and cut it and stick it in there and shape it and then cut it out.
yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Making me a little template, and then I'll cut a piece of wood and glue it on there and recover it. It'll be done, ready to go.
Cool.
What's in that thing for power?
OS Max 35.
Nice. There might have some box in it.
Hey, Rusty,
Yeah,
what are you going into the hospital for?
I got to get my shoulder pinned back together. Remember, they broke it in the hospital when they were fixing my hip.
Oh,
Did you not know that?
I know that you said something got broke, but
Yeah,
I didn't
physical
know.
therapy broke. It broke right up here behind my dialysis access too, which is a very bad place. They're going to drill down through here and put a long bolt in it and glue it.
Oh,
You know,
Drill a hole, fill it full of epoxy. It'll be all right.
I hope so. That epoxy will probably be the only thing holding it back together. But hey, if I survive this, I'll freaking never get sick again. I'm tired of all this crap.
I would insist on Gorilla Glue.
Oh, you think?
Yeah,
No, I'd think JB Wells maybe.
you get a bunch of hair on your chest and everything from that Gorilla Glue.
I got hair on my chest, boy. But thanks for the tip. I'll mention it when he starts giving me my anesthesia.
Yeah, see, ask him once. If he used Gorilla Glue, would you get a bunch of hair on your chest?
Yeah. Well, I got it all in white.
Oh yeah.
That thing came out nice.
This weekend I'll put the trim on it in the clear.
Is that a Junar profile?
Kinda, yeah.
Pretty kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Aren't
Do
there-
you like
Aren't there
do you
great
like that
wheel
clunk fuel tank?
One at a time.
Clunk fuel tank?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It ain't a real profile if it ain't got a clunk tank.
What?
Aren't them great wheels, Sparky?
Oh yeah. I love it.
And light, and if you wear them out on the pavement, you can just buy replacement tires.
Yep.
For cheap.
I think they're $2.
Yeah.
It turned out pretty nice.
It looks great.
It's very pretty.
How is your other plane coming?
Which one?
The one that you didn't get done for the Nats.
Still hanging there with waiting to get the last couple trim colors on it.
Oh, okay. You gonna try to get them both done at the same time and clear them at the same time and everything?
Probably not. Just one at a time. That one's up there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not real thrilled about the PA airplanes. I'm going to build another Super Tiger airplane.
Well, you just think the PAs are too heavy?
Yep. I got lots of power, but I can't get the airplane light enough. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't come in under 60 ounces. Carrying around too much hardware.
No.
Isn't the PA a piped motor though, and it's supposed to like make a boatload of power and be exceptionally overcoming of the weight?
Yeah. You can't overcome the weight. It's inertia. And as far as power goes, my Super Tiger 60s, the way that I set them up, they'll run in the wind and they don't wind up. They work fine.
That's okay. I'll buy that.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Because you
care.
have the same speed, you have roughly the same speed in flight for
Oh.
the same set of lines, the same lap time, and depending on the weight is gonna, pretty much, and the surface area of the wing is gonna dictate how well it can turn or not turn. So you can have the power, but still the speed, like Spark is saying, it's the inertia.
Well, that's what, I argued there at the Nats with Samantha's plane she took to the World Championship. It's too heavy. Weighs 64, like over 3/4. It's almost 65 ounces.
Got to use them big, thick lines then too, and
Yep, it drags the hell out of it, and
Yep.
you can't overcome wing loading with a bigger motor.
No.
The way it turns and stuff, you just can't. If that was 750 square inches, yeah, then it wouldn't be too heavy.
Read Bob Galdini's barbell effect. If it was 750 square inches, yeah, it would overcome it, but it would weigh more. So then you'd have to have more power. It's just a vicious circle.
Yes.
That's like this airplane here. This is the one that we were gonna take to the World Championships. Cover the wing and all but the top of the tail, 2.5 ounces. I'm weighing. It's a little less than 1 ounce per wing, and then I weighed on the. And this ain't saying it off. I got more weight in the blue superfill than I do on the covering on the wings. I'm weighing everything right down. No matter what I do, it's weighed. How much I put on, how much I take off. Right now, that weighs 25.9 ounces.
Right now.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that's electric.
Yep.
You got a 10-ounce battery. It's 35.
12-ounce battery.
Okay, 37. Plus 3 ounces in wheels. That's 30 or 40. Plus the motor. That's another 6 ounces. 46. Prop 47. Wing tip. It'll be 50-some ounces. That'd be good. How many square inches?
630.
Yeah.
You keep it around 58 ounces. That'd be good.
So yeah, and I figure, then I'm gonna weigh what it takes as bare balsa when I start to finish on putting on, and I bought tissue. So we're gonna try tissue because it's supposed to fill faster. We'll see how much the fuselage adds to the weight of the airplane.
Use triple aught free flight, the lightest paper you can get. Japanese tissue is what I've been using. Fuselage.
Yeah, I got that. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we can. Even if we can knock off 8 ounces off both airplanes are the same square inches. So hopefully it's going to weigh 8 ounces less. The biggest mistake we made was clear coating her airplane.
Yeah.
But if we wouldn't have clear coated it with automotive, it would have been way under 60 ounces. That shit's heavy, and she didn't need it for the World Championships for the reason they don't have appearance points. It was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. It's electric. It ain't going to hurt the finish.
Steve, there are some plastic coverings out there that are a lot lighter than the monocoat or whatever else, ultra coat.
Oh, I know. I could have got stuff that I could have did the whole wing in under 1/2 ounce per panel.
You know what?
I had this bought and I want to use it up.
If you get a hold of Lewis Rankin, he can monocoat that fuselage to look like paint.
I know it. I tell you what, I watched that video again of Dane. What's his last name? They're in Vegas.
Yeah.
Dane Martin.
Yeah.
And how to wrap the wingtips. And we came out with the best wingtips we've ever had. You form them, not trying to put them down on there. You make them and you can pick them up. And it works so good. I mean, there's not a wrinkle in that whole wingtip there. It's just smooth as can be. And it's just, it can be done. It's just learning how to do it.
Lewis Rankin can put monocoat on and you can't tell that it's monocoat. It looks like it's painted. He uses no paint on the fuselage. It's all monocoat. He does the seams first, like where your rudder fillet is. He puts that in like a 1/2 inch wide. Then he cuts one piece of the rudder and puts it on. Then he cuts a whole fuselage side and slides it on in one piece. He's great. You can't tell.
Yeah, I know what I mean. A lot of these, if you look at that guy from Brazil who does a monocoat and he paints on them,
Mhm.
they're gorgeous.
Rogerio, I think is his name.
Oh my God.
Hey, you guys, let me interrupt for just a second. I want to apologize to the YouTubers out there. We got a good crowd out there. We got some people that hadn't been in a long time, and I can't type. So if anybody here wants to find the YouTube chat box and pop it out and handle the YouTube chat tonight for me, that would be great. 'Cause I've been talking to Minnesota Mike, Gary Sinclair's out there, bunch of good guys. David Phelps is out there, Bob Bishop, of course, and so if somebody can get that YouTube chat box open and handle that for me tonight, that would be great.
I don't even know how you do it. I mean, I tried to do some stuff last week and knock myself out of here, but
If you open the YouTube page where this feed is on Sparky's channel, and you'll see the chat box, and there's three little dots at the top right of the chat box. You click on that and click pop out chat, and then you can resize it into a little long narrow column, and you can just drag it over beside the video screen where it's not in the way, and you can type into it like that.
is it the one that says, oh no, that's the first one. So I got to get to the second.
You got to go to the YouTube page with the video as if you were going to watch the rerun. Maybe you can't do it. I don't know. If
Here,
you can, don't worry about it.
here, wait a minute. Here's, no, that won't do it. That's a push. My mistake. Can't do that.
Yeah, because now when I click on meet dot jilt or jit, it goes right to the video thing. There's nothing that shows.
Don't worry about it. Let me see if I can get my hand out of this sling enough to reach up there.
Don't hurt yourself, Rusty.
I'll try
Rusty,
not
just
to.
let it go.
Yeah, okay.
Just let it go.
Steve disconnected.
Yeah,
I'm back.
no, he's still with us, I think. You still there, Steve?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me now?
Can now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I tried to bring up YouTube and I can't do it, and I don't know.
You
Just
don't
open a
believe
new,
yourself.
Steve, open a new tab. Go in that new tab and find YouTube. You find our stuff, and just make sure you mute it, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of echo.
Yeah. Or better than muting is actually just stop or pause the stream, because that does not stop the chat box.
Okay, I'm into YouTube now. On the search, what?
Find Stunt Hangar channel.
Yeah, go to Stunt Hangar. Just type Stunt Hangar and find Sparky's home channel page.
There'll be a live chat. You click on that and open that up, and then there'll be three dots in the chat. And you pop it out.
Here's Stunt Hangar at the bench.
No, on YouTube.
Stunt Hangar Monday night hangouts. Here. I'll give you a hand, Steve. Hang on.
Stunt Hangar hobby, Stunt Hangar at the bench.
Steve, look in the chat box, our chat box right here. There you go. Click on this.
Where's our chat box at?
You look at the lower side of the screen to the left. It looks like it's a TV, a hand, and a box that looks like a little tab to it.
Okay.
Click on the box to the right of the hand.
Now I got a Trump thing.
Mute it.
Sounds like you got the right channel.
Mute.
Just okay. This should work out for you.
In the chat
The
section.
right of the hand.
God damn it.
There I
All right. I think I'm watching everything now.
Yeah, you're good.
Now, where is? Oh, there's the chat. Where's the chat? Minnesota. Mike.
Chat,
Yep.
there's three dots. In the chat
got the right of the hand.
section. Got the
I don't. What is this? Every time this damn speaker keeps coming back on after I mute it.
That's
just
okay.
stop the stream, hit the little pause.
Okay, hit the three buttons. Participate, pop out, chat. Is that what I want?
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you can close the rest of that page if you want to, and that'll still show up if you hover over Chrome in your taskbar. You might be getting above your head there.
You guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
just like an old Verizon commercial.
We had a nice contest here in Georgia. A lot of good.
Oh yeah, Will Davis said that it was a beautiful place to have a contest. He was telling me about it last night.
Uh-huh.
He said he didn't get to talk to you very much. You know, we're both busy and didn't really cross paths a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I got out of there. I couldn't hear you guys. You couldn't hear me.
Okay, well, thanks for trying, Steve. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I had Wayne flying my plane and Joe Gilbert. And they were just Joe, especially Joe Gilbert. He was flying and like, golly, from the center of the circle. Oh boy. Yeah.
Joe Gilbert, that's the guy that flies the rig masters in competition, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He flew a blue tune pipe.
Hellcat.
Yeah. Look, it didn't look like a wildcat. It looked more of a hurricane.
Yeah, whatever he did, but ugly.
Yeah, I mean, just the shiny and everything, nice. He needs some panel lines on it, whatever, but he flew very well in a contest. He took second place in export. He was
Who won?
behind Derek Barry. So was Derek Barry, then Gilbert, then was Mark Waldron third. We had
Really?
Joe.
Derek took first place, did he? So,
Huh?
you said Derek took first place?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good. I always pull for Derek. He's my local hero.
I had my ass handed off to me.
How badly?
Well, let's put it this way. I was a 536 and Derek won it at 580 something.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
So I think everybody was just flying very, very well, and there were a lot of people that fly open at the nets. I think I was the only one that flew
Yeah.
advanced at the nets. So
Hey, when you fly with guys like that, you got to step
They
the
gonna
old
eat you.
game up. That'll make you better, though.
they will eat you alive, right?
Oh, yeah. But
But
yeah,
I'm inconsistent. Yeah.
Mike Waldron is getting really good the past couple of years.
Oh my God, he can fly very well.
So Sam Lonke didn't fly?
He flew. He took second in advance.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still kind of getting used to the plane, learning how to fly it and stuff
No,
like
not
that.
Mike. Sam.
Oh, Sam crashed before the contest. He did something funny in, I think, the vertical 8. Vertical 8
man.
is his Achilles heel.
Vertical 8, yeah, that's his nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like something horrible always happens
Yeah.
during the vertical eight. He'll get past that.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through that kind of thing.
The first loop it's okay, and then he does half of the second loop coming overhead, and he kind of as he comes down, he forgets to continue holding that down elevator to finish the top loop.
Yeah.
So on the top, it kind of comes down and wants to give it up to pull out, and then gives down again to go over there, and then gets scared, pulls up, and gets lost, and then.
Well. And what about Mike? Took his wife and daughter too, didn't he? Was that who was? Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely adorable. His wife is nice. I talked briefly with them.
That's
Very
what
nice.
Sam. He was
Very
nervous
nice.
because he was flying in front of his girls.
Mm,
Hey, Rusty, you
yeah.
got the control room open?
Control room.
Yeah,
I don't.
the live screen control room. You still got it open?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off here. I'm turning it over to you.
Okay. Yep, I got it.
All right, buddy.
Okay, thanks, Sparky. I appreciate you opening it up.
Take it easy, Sparky.
See you guys later.
And
Good night, Sparky.
all right,
Good night.
I'll let you know when I'm going to be back. I don't know right now. Just consider Rusty to be in semi-retirement after this show, and it might be a week or two before I get back in action. You know, if I have to go to a rehab place to live, you know, for a little while, that wouldn't surprise me, as beat down as I am right now. So we'll see. As long as I'm still breathing, then we'll call it a win for now.
Now, with your shoulder, you said they broke it. What, they break the ball off of the.
Pretty much just below the ball. It's the almost like the hip. It's the humerus is the name of the bone, and the bone just below the ball, such as it is, it's not as big and globular as the hip one, but it broke right below that, and so that's what they're going to put a screw down through and pull them back together. And whether or not that bone is strong enough to hold a screw remains to be seen.
That's why they don't think it's strong enough just for a replacement. My mom had like a whole new ball and socket thing in hers.
I'm not strong enough to withstand such a surgery. I'd never survive it.
Oh, okay.
They're worried about, you know, honestly, I don't want to sound melodramatic, but I think they're not all that confident. Not really worried about it, but worried that I might not be able to survive this one as it is. I've been through anesthesia. That'll be bang, 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 3 right in a row. And it's just, you know, that's hard to deal with. And when you're as beat down as I am. So, but Rusty will have had a good ride no matter how it turns out.
But why couldn't they just put a block in and do it under surgery under a block?
I don't know. I didn't ask that question.
You know, because when I had mine done twice, they put me out, but they put a nerve block in there. You could have cut my whole arm off and I wouldn't have felt it.
I don't know.
Wow. Sorry to hear that,
Rusty's
Rusty.
down more than any other doctor, surgeon I've ever had. So I'm going to let him do what he thinks is best for me. He's known me a long, long time. He knows everything about my history, and he's actually, you know, as a doctor, a very good friend too. So
Okay.
and he's a quite competent doctor.
Would they pick you up wrong or?
My bones are just that weak. That shoulder had been failing me for years. I had rehabbed it, and that you remember the time you were telling me about the shelves that your grandmother had on her walker to put her forearms on.
Yeah.
They were testing me out to see if they could fit me up with that arm for one of those, and she lifted too high, and I felt it just to set it on there, and I felt it go pop pop.
Oh.
I felt it on break. Yeah. So that's it. That's,
Why are people so
Your
stupid
style,
when you tell them not
man.
to do
What it-
something?
that's what it does to you. It just makes
Sorry
you.
if I suggested something that caused you a problem.
Oh no, no. I didn't want him messing with that shoulder anyway. I asked him to not mess with it, but they just had to do it. So yeah, I think I heard fellow Gister joining the meeting. Who do we have going on
Yeah,
here?
Al.
How you doing?
Rusty, I have a question for you.
Yes,
You have your right hand. Is it okay?
yeah, it's okay.
Okay. And your knuckles don't hurt at all?
Oh well, I mean, I can't straighten my fingers out any more than that.
Yeah, but you can make a fist, right?
Not all the way. I can't make my fingertips touch my palm.
No, because my knuckles will be hurting by now, if that happened to me.
Yeah.
And her face too.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're talking about. I'd like to give her a little physical therapy. Yeah.
How you been, Al?
Hey, Al.
I'm good. Good. I've been listening on the YouTube. I hope everything works out well for you, Rusty. And
I do too. Thanks, Al. I appreciate it.
you
I
know,
tell you what, I don't know what I did to deserve all this, but I sure hope that when it's over, I'm in as good a shape as I've ever been. So we'll see.
You,
you're like
you're
an old
far
Fox
nicer than I
35
am.
stunt. You'll be like an old Fox 35 stunt. You just clean up the castor oil off it and start it back up again.
You shove a wooden plug up his ass and send him on his way.
Yeah.
Crusty Rusty. Crazy old Uncle Rusty.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. It's like you try to get back to flying, and then, first the one hip, you get that, then the next one. Now they fucking do it. It's like, my God, people, letting it back to flying.
I was almost there, wasn't I, Steve?
Huh?
You saw me. I was
Yeah.
almost there. You saw me. I went out there that April when you and Sam came down to Huntersville and flew, and it was just us out there by ourselves that day. And I busted out a pretty good flight with the old shoestring.
You hit that first flight, you had that damn thing doing what? 4, 6 laps, right?
Laps. It was hauling ass.
It was hauling ass and pulling hard and had your arms straight. That thing was just really going. I'm like, you flew it out. It's like, well, if you fly.
I wasn't getting dizzy or anything. I'm a long way from there now, but
yeah,
we had a lot of fun that day, and too damn bad.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Driving out there and meeting you guys, fun, and to have the whole field to ourselves too.
Yeah, it was a great day, and that's why I thought you'd be in all these contests in no time.
Looked like it, but just wasn't in the cards. We're gonna give it another try.
I wish you the best, Russ. I'm just
thanks, guys.
I think I'm more upset than you are. You are just so calm and composed, and
that's
taking whatever is. I'm like,
yeah. You can either laugh or cry, but and I've done both, But the only way to get through this stuff is just to lean into it and keep on trucking like the old hippie does, Mr. Natural. And thanks for the super chat donation, Mr. Middlesex Modelers.
Yeah, no problem.
For some reason, Al's picture strip is collapsed, and all I can see is one strip of his T-shirt across the top right there.
Oh, you mean
I can see him fine.
I think it's something about my monitor. I was having that happen the other night.
No, it's rusty. That's normal.
Is it?
When there are too many people here, they're not gonna fit inside that.
Racism,
But if you use the side slider, just slide it up and down.
Yeah.
You're gonna see them correctly.
Yeah.
Well, I see on mine, I'm pinned at the top and it's smaller.
Yeah,
I go in that square box and make all you guys.
my slider was not reacting when I tried to grab it and drag it, but that's not a big problem. I was just wondering if anybody else saw it. So yeah, it's just because the screen's full.
Yeah, I like. Now there's 6 of them up. I go to that square box, click on that, and then I can see everybody.
Oh yeah, the toggle view. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I've got it now too.
Yeah.
The tile.
So, Al used to be a drag racer, I take it?
Yeah, still am.
Well, you said that you just got it out or whatever. How long has it been?
You know, yeah, it's sort of been in hibernation, but yeah.
We got a drag racer over in the YouTube chat box right now. Minnesota Mike just got his new dragster certified for 8 seconds today.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's got let me look back and see what it says. He's always got something eclectic. He had he had an old 60s Dodge Dart or Plymouth. I can't remember now, but it had a blown big block in it. Let's see, Minnesota Mike certified the chassis, good for 860. And oh, here it is. He's got a 58 Rambler with a blown small block Alston chassis, big tire. And I typed back, oh, a steamroller, and LOL. And he said, pretty much. And he said, certified the chassis today. It's good for 860.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get your chassis certified. I forget how many years. It's every 4 years or every 5 years, and seatbelts got to be updated every 2 years.
I was strictly a backyard production. I had a 67 Camaro with a 4-bolt 350 in it that I built in my bedroom at my mother's house. And only got one spot of oil, and it was clean STP from when I was dunking the pistons before I shoved them down in the bores. And so that was pretty good. Put it in my little metal radio flyer red wagon and pulled it out to the pad behind the house and dropped it in the Camaro body.
Yeah,
and won some with that car, like I said, bracket racing. So, but it was big fun. That was like 1979, 1980. We had big fun doing it.
So Al, what is that? What do you have in it and everything like that?
it's it's a 454 bored out to 468, and it's all like 1301 compression piston. It's a roller motor. It has like a 722 lift, roller cam in it.
So with that kind of compression, you're running on all motor. You don't have any blower or nitrous or anything.
No, it's all naturally aspirated. It's overpowering the car now. It runs. The best run is like 890 at 146 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it like about 1,000 horsepower, or is it more than that?
Yeah, around 800 to 900, somewhere around there. It has a 2-speed power glide.
Slip and slide with power glide.
Yeah. It has a 5,000 stall converter in it. So as soon as you touch the gas, it goes straight to $5,000.
Yeah.
500. Yeah. It has a trans brake. You launch it. So you hold the button and you step on the gas, and that MSD ignition with a 2-step. So you launch RPM in there. You have a chip like 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, and you put it in there. So when you hold the button and you hold the trans brake, it holds the car between first and reverse, and then it fires every other cylinder every other time at your launch RPM, and then when you let
what it's doing. I thought that was a rev limiter cutting it out or something.
What's that?
Okay. I thought that was a rev limiter just cutting the ignition out. I didn't realize it was firing every other stroke to do that.
Yeah, that's a 2-step. They call it a 2-step, an MSD 2-step.
I've heard of it. I've watched Street Outlaws enough times to where I've heard of it about 1 million times, but never had it explained to me.
Right.
When's the next time you're going to race it?
That's I took a week off from work to get after some things that I've been that's been hanging around, and that's I don't know. I'd like to probably maybe in a month or something, but again, I have to get my chassis certified, or else I have to keep it running slower than 10 seconds, which at this stage of the game that's okay, just to get my feet wet again, and I have to get my belts certified again.
Yeah.
It's it's like a whole another.
I've never driven 10 seconds before. The fastest mine ever went was in the high 12s.
Okay.
I was running a Muncie 4-speed. There she is. Nice.
Yeah.
There,
That's Jared. Hey,
there's my car.
yeah. That's
No,
what your old handle on Hangouts, Pro ET Nova,
Yeah,
is all about, right?
yeah,
Is that a 72 or what?
70.
70. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry about
beautiful.
that.
I raced it in the Pro ET class. That's where I came up with my name.
Let's see. I got a picture of my old drag car. Let me see if I can find it.
so that
It'll
is
take
that
me a minute.
blown, or is that just your intake sticking up through the hood?
That's it's a tunnel ram intake. It's not a blower. It's just got like an injector hat on it, but it's a tunnel ram with twin carbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last time I drove more than for faster than 11 seconds, I did it in a boat.
In a boat?
Yeah,
That's
it was
scary.
18-foot flat bottom with a LS7 in it.
Yeah, that's probably the last time I went that fast too. Was in my buddy's drag boat. But
It was probably about 120, 130 mile an hour, somewhere right in there. It was years ago.
Doing that on the water is downright. That takes balls. I'm telling you what.
it does. I could ride with my buddy when he drove, but I couldn't get off the cavitation plate enough to get it up to that
No,
kind of.
when I let my buddy drive the boat, I was skiing behind it, about the same speed. But that was when I was 22 and stupid. So
Yeah, we pulled people on inner tubes behind my buddy's drag boat, but when you started it, because there was no clutch in it,
no, never.
so once it cranked at idle, the son of a bitch jumped out and would whip people, just tear the tube out of people's hands. We finally had a couple guys who finally got up on the tube.
Yeah, and they had gorilla arms too, huh?
But what it was is that once you got them over like 80 miles an hour, the tube stretched all out and they fell off anyway.
Yeah, normally the tube would tear itself apart.
Yeah.
I've had that happen too, but I know going that fast in a boat, it's really not the smartest thing I've ever done. It was fun. I'm lucky I got away with it.
You guys
Let's
want to
see
see?
now. What do I do to screen share? I click this button here.
Oh, is this your
And
Camaro,
then
Rusty?
I got application window. Hang on just a second. And boom, there's my old Camaro right there. That's with the toe tires on it. I had a set of Firestone slicks for it. Let's see if I can show some other pictures of it. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, nice little
Yeah.
13.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. What'd you say, Al?
That was a 67.
That's me and my sister. Yeah, that's a 67.
Yeah.
That's me and my sister and my mom and me with a glass of Jack Daniels. The trophy I had just won the night before. That's us out at the drag strip.
Awesome, man.
That's the engine on my back patio.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 350?
There's my 4-bolt 350. That's my dog Chevy.
What did your sister help you build the car?
No, I built that thing. Well, somebody else built the chassis and body, and I built the engine and dropped it in it. That's my best friend Doug with the ponytail. That's me in the middle, and Chevy and my sister's boyfriend on the right.
Damn, look at those tires on that thing.
Oh, that's my Mazda right there. I love that car. I sold it to Wayne. Let's see what else we got here. I think that's about it for my hot
That
rod
was a
picture.
Mazda.
Look at that Vega. You see that Vega over there? I always wanted to drop a V8 in that, but I never got around to it.
Is that the gold car in the background?
Yeah. Yeah, that one right there.
I never had a Vega,
Yeah.
but I had a small block Chevette for a while.
A small, oh, really? A V8 Chevette?
I had a Chevette. It was a '79 Chevette, and we tore the shit out of it first. And then we took out the 4-cylinder and the 4-speed, and we dropped a 350 and a power glide in it. The drive shaft was about 18 inches long, and I think the was maybe 24 drum to drum.
That's funny.
You're talking about one unstable car, though. That thing wouldn't go straight for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that buddy of mine, this Norm Beer Horse. He was known
Hey,
here.
worst I ever had my ass handed to me was by a Volkswagen Beetle, 1963. It looked like something somebody'd used for a fishing car for about 20 years. Oh, there's
21.
a carriage engine there.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Wow.
Yeah, this guy named Norm Beer Horse. He put a 454 in a Mazda and tubbed it, but it was so uncontrollable. He couldn't get any time on it. You know, it just was
Yeah.
so unstable trying to
Can't
take
make
it down
it go
the track.
straight. You gotta make it go straight. That's hard to do too.
But you
Yeah,
have
it
a,
had such a short wheelbase and it was flexing the body, and he'd done all kinds of stuff to it, and he finally gave up. But he'd put around on the street with it, and it sounded cool and it looked neat. Because from the back, it was just all tires.
Me and some friends.
Yeah,
You
look
guys
like a
want to see
steamroller
something
did.
cool? Model airplane
Sure.
related? Hang on, let me share. I have to share my screen with you. This is from the contest, actually. When we had a contest here. All right, share. I can't share shit. It doesn't let me.
Oh,
The
man,
share
what are you
button.
talking about?
The share button is being disabled. I wonder why.
You
Do
have
I
an
have?
anomaly.
Yeah, my uncle and my cousin belonged to the Ford drag team, and the Grand Rapids Ford drag team. And one was the president, one was the vice president. They got the chance, and they both did it. They bought the Ford Talladegas because there's only 2 per state, and they were drag racing them, and they ended up giving them away. And now we're watching Barrett Jackson, and that car went for over $500,000. My cousin said he got rid of it for $2,000 when he got rid of his.
I sold my '60 Camaro for $1,500.
Yeah, I know. It's just hard to believe the price of these cars anymore.
There's a picture of the roll cage on Jared's Nova.
Yeah, it's all tubbed and everything. Looks good.
That's
Thanks.
pretty.
there's one of my time slips, Rusty.
Let me click that big.
Is it?
Okay, let's see.
Oh, 9-0 you did.
You got I can't. You got a 1.360 foot, 1.3160 foot. Got a
You red lighted.
146 miles an hour at 9 seconds.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cooking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just like a time trial. You know, you set for setting your delay box.
That's about the same speed my boat went. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, and that car's only 93-inch wheelbase. So my drive shaft in that is like yours. It's only about 18 inches long.
What
Yeah.
car is yours now?
Mine,
Yeah.
it's a cheetah. It's called a cheetah. A Logie is the company in Michigan. Logie Stamping Company.
Okay.
Made the body, and it's it's called the cheetah.
Okay, I recognize the tail end.
Yeah, I see that. Now, what chassis does it set on? Is it made for, or is it their chassis, all that kind of stuff?
The chassis, there's some chassis that they made. It's a square chassis, but I had the cages updated to pass, current inspection.
Oh, okay.
Because before it only had, just a roll bar and one big bar coming down in between my legs. But it has an updated chassis to pass today's. If you go faster than 10 seconds, you have to have a chassis certification.
Oh, okay.
Has to be certain thickness of metal, and it has to have bars in the right spot. There's all proper rules.
Yeah.
For the cage.
So
Can you
you
drive-
drive? Is that car street
but,
legal, Jared?
Yeah, I'm driving. If you look at that picture there, I'm driving down the interstate.
Cool. That's
He's-
good.
Yeah.
I recognize the tail end more as a 70 than what I earlier thought. Yeah.
So what do you got for transmission on that?
On the Nova,
Yeah.
it's a turbo 400 with a gear vendor's overdrive behind it.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I'm not sure
You
how
got to
that
be
passes.
turning a lot of RPM going down the interstate.
Yeah, I've got 488 gears in it too. And then those tires are 33.5-inch tall. But with the overdrive, I can turn about 2,500 RPM and cruise about 60.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I believe Charles Carter just joined us. Can anybody see him in the thumbnails? Let me go back to Kyle here.
Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Oh, there he is. Hey, Charles. What are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. How you doing?
Not too bad.
We all good.
Good. Good.
You been getting any flying in?
I flew a little bit last Friday. Actually, I was pretty excited. I have a new trainee. I mean, he didn't know nothing, and we built a plane together. Brodak Ringmaster Arf, and then he flew for the first time Friday. He flew 3 times without my help, and so that's quite an accomplishment. I'm pretty excited about that.
Must be built pretty straight.
Yeah, it is. It's came out pretty good, and I'm pretty sure he's hooked now. so I posted it on my YouTube channel. It's
That's
a short
awesome.
little minute and second.
Oh, okay. I might have to take a look at that. I hadn't checked my my favorite subscribed tubers in a long time. I need to go catch up with what's going on out there. Yo, excuse me. I got to go turn the air conditioner on a little bit cooler. I'll be right back.
All right. So,
What's
Charles,
your YouTube channel?
when are you going to start that Tempest build?
I know. I am like, I'm not exactly sure when exactly, but I definitely have it in the mix. I have I'm working on a Strega right now. I'm going to do something quick and dirty real quick because I can have it done relatively quick. So I'd like to take my time on the Tempest, and also I have a Thunder Gazer kit. But the Strega I want to get done real quick and dirty, so I have something that I can get BOM points on, and so. But yeah, I definitely want to build that, Steve, and I will.
Well, I was going to say we got 1 month more flying here, then we call it building season. After August,
Oh,
the weather cools down and we'll get rain and all that. We start building. Now I know you get no winter there, so that's going to kind of wonder when is your building season.
We
yeah,
get
it's
California. We get
It's we can build.
between
We can build too. We can fly all year round too, for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for this year. This year I've flown less than any year I can remember. We had such terrible rain, and then when it wasn't raining, the field was still soaking wet. And then so this not it hasn't been a very good year as far as flying.
Oh, okay.
Charles, what is your YouTube channel?
It's called Flying Control Line Stunt.
Uh,
Flying Control Line Stunt. It's all separate words.
Yeah, but Steve, we do get winter here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not compared to
That's
them.
what you call winter. You really don't get winter. You
If
can
it
call it
gets-
anything you want.
If it gets below 70 degrees, it's winter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
we
it
get
gets
winter.
0 and the wind's blowing at 30 miles an hour and snowing, that's winter.
There's nothing like starting up a glow engine at minus 5 degrees.
Yeah,
Minus.
and you know you're a real control line freak when you get out there and have to use lighter fluid to get your damn motors to start.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
New Year's Eve day thing.
Yeah.
And go
That
out
all
there.
that east of the 605 because I have never experienced that. And the 605 freeway is about 20 minutes east of me.
Steve, I went out, what was it, like 3 years ago, it was New Year's Day to fly. It was like minus 10, and I forgot the lighter fluid.
Oh no.
So I'm hitting it with the starter, hitting with the car, it's not going. And so I just got, it wasn't even burping. So I just got pissed off, and I just like dumped like a whole bunch of fuel into the exhaust and into the intake. And wouldn't you believe that thing fired up? Like, just like pouring all that fuel in there, it's sputtered. I just repeated it, and the thing started up. I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
I mean, I put like 3 ounces of fuel down its throat, and it started.
No shit. Yeah, you probably need a diesel.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I couldn't, and I had, I purposely bought the lighter fluid, for that day,
Yeah.
and it fired up.
I don't even do that shit no more. It's like
Well,
I quit, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. I'm just
yeah.
you get bumped by a prop when your hands are in 10-degree air. And you really swear to God that it's taking your fingers off, and you're swearing and running around, and
you have to have a car running nearby, running there, because even in that cold, I had to take my hand off the glove off to do some things, and I had an Arctic jacket on, one of those jackets that's good to 30 below, with the hood and all that stuff. You're looking at, you're looking at a hole out in the front like that,
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Where-
motivating.
I was having trouble getting that Super Tiger 40 to start, and I was messing with it. Lighter fluid and stuff like that, and I'm kind of didn't want to hydro lock it or anything, kind of. That thing took and flipped and back flipped on my fingers.
Yeah.
I really thought my fingers were frozen. I'd look down and it'd be like they've been cracked off and fell on the ground.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And it's like, nope, I've had enough of this.
Yeah,
I think-
my plane was a profile, so it, the fuel just was pouring out of it,
Yeah.
I think I'd rather just put up with the earthquakes.
Now, how hot? What's the hottest you've flown in, you guys? I mean, I know it doesn't get cold out here, but I've flown all day in like 117-degree weather.
Oh no.
Gone to half a gallon of gas in that kind of weather.
Yeah,
You guys,
we're not that crazy, or I can use another word for that, but we're not that bad.
I mean,
well, you guys are because you guys are on the other end. You're on the cold end. Well, I'll fly when it gets extremely hot.
here in Jersey, we get a sample of everything. We get
Okay.
the deep freeze, we get the heat. You know, we get the worst is like 105, but not 117.
I think
I
the hottest
Yeah.
time we've flown in here is 99 degrees. But we get so much humidity off of Lake Michigan. I don't know if that's like you in Cal. It's so humid that the heat index is like 120 or whatever.
Yeah,
And
that's just as miserable.
Oh,
You
well,
know,
yeah, humidity. Yeah, we get that here too. It's like
Not
That's a
that.
nice,
with a knife.
that's a nice thing about living by the beach. The ocean doesn't cause humidity, so it stays pretty dry around here. And in California, where I'm from, I mean, cold weather is maybe 60, 65. Hot weather is maybe 90, 95.
Wow. Yeah, it's been as cold as like 40 degrees where I live,
Yeah.
and as hot as 117.
You're not in Wildomore, right?
No, I'm south of that.
Or you're
Yeah.
south of Wildomore?
Yes.
Yeah, we
About 45 minutes south.
Now,
just
Oh,
went
okay.
through a
You're
heat streak here.
how close are you guys to Palm Springs?
far enough to know better and not close enough to give a damn.
Yeah, I think it's a 2.5 hour drive, I think, for me.
No, that's more. Palm Springs is more inland, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Because a
Yeah.
buddy of mine there was saying that it was nothing to get to like 117, 120. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's nothing. Like, yeah, matter of fact, everybody goes to Palm Springs in the winter, and it's still hot, but it's not like hot like that.
Yeah, you guys must have a hell of an electric bill.
I
You know,
know.
Steve,
Yeah.
when I first became a journeyman in sheet metal, the first job I did as a journeyman was a copper roof in Palm Springs, and I turned out in August. That was the hottest weather I've ever
Wow.
been through, and it was 127.
Whoa.
It was 148 on the roof.
Whoa.
We had to work from 4 o'clock in the morning, and we couldn't work past 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like here, this year hasn't been bad because I haven't caught the days or whatever. But on a black roof, when we're up to like 98 degrees, that roof will be so hot that it'll
Yeah.
actually melt the sole of my shoes.
It'll be
They get
140, 160. It'll be 140, 160 on a black roof and in 90, 100 degree weather.
And I got 1 inch of insulation off a chiller that I put down so I can kneel because I've actually burnt blisters on my knees.
Yeah.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, my best friend was an HVAC tech working on industrial locations, and he just finally, this is his second. He retired a year ago. Maybe it was, I can't remember. It was 1 or 2 years ago this past July, and I was so happy when he was able to retire because, man, they took advantage of him and worked him so hard. He'd been in the business for so long and knew all the older equipment that they didn't want to train up the new guys
Yeah,
on.
that's me.
And, yeah, that's you now. And so I can commiserate with you there, sort of secondhand, but, I've talked with him enough about doing all that hard work. That's tough stuff on top of hospitals and shopping malls and everything else.
Yeah, it was only 85 here today, which wasn't bad, but I was in a boiler room with 120-pound steam. So that shit was cooking up at 300 and some degrees. And they had a receiver tank. I ended up finding out they used 1,700 gallons over the weekend of water and trying to figure out where it was. And it was in the receiver. The tempering valve was screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so hot in there. I mean, I couldn't even breathe. It was just, the air was like there was no oxygen in it. But
Wow.
I'd sweat so bad, my pants, underwear were wet, legs on it, And me and the other guy, and I finally told him, I said, you know what? I got to get out of here.
What's the Freon costing a pound now for the house? Not the Bren, the
R22?
I guess what?
I think it's around $40 a pound. Everything's coming down. They don't make it anymore.
Right.
Now people have quit using it because it got up to 60, 80 bucks a pound.
Right.
So people changed over. Now they have it, and the price is actually coming back down. It's kind of like back in the Freon days, which is R12. That was just a trade name, Freon.
Right.
I didn't see Steve McBride come in. Hey, Steve.
Oh yeah.
But it got up to like 100.
You been there about an hour?
And now you can buy it. Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know, 20.
I had to have my unit topped off. It was freezing up on me. One of my units.
Yeah.
And I had to top off. He put 3 pounds in it. He said he charged me for 2.
I hadn't had my unit topped
He
off
was
in a
like
long
$100
time.
a pound.
He charge you $100 a pound?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What, Freon?
I think it's costing it. I'll find out, but I heard it came down to like 40 bucks a pound now, is what wholesale is on. But usually you figure parts in this business is double. So if they're charging you 100, they're paying 50.
Right. And it cost me like $300 to have him. But he said he put 3 pounds of Freon in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how much? 300? That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
that was with the service call too. But
Yeah, well, the way the service, a lot of companies will waive the service call, the waive the service fee when you accept the whole job and you're actually getting the Freon put in and having the service work done. But you pay $300 for 3 pounds. That's about right. It's about 110 to about 105 to 115 a pound.
Right.
But what he should have did was just put in the new, I call it generic 22. It's not even really 22 anymore, but it's a drop-in replacement, and you lose about 4 or 5% in capacity, but it's so much cheaper and it works well. Unless you have,
Do you have to evacuate the whole system?
we say you do. I don't.
You can change the coil and put the new Freon in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just, if it accidentally has a leak and it all leaks out, then you can just put the new stuff in on top of it. You don't got to pull a vacuum.
Right.
But that's so much cheaper that way. And unless you have a computerized, these new electronic TXVs that's hooked into a computer, they work fine.
I still got the original unit. My original units are like 20 years old.
Yeah, so these ones that were put in like 10 years ago, right at the end of 22, that's got the computerized sensors that are adjusting the TXV. It will screw them up.
Yeah.
We tried that because it was like $1,000 bill when these places were getting a leak. So we put the cheaper stuff in. It didn't work, but regular chillers, we put it in all the time. It works fine.
Okay.
But yeah, all that's going away. 410's going away. 408. The patents are about to run out. They'll become bad for the environment. So then they can put a patent on something else, and they can keep the price up. And basically, that's what's 134A for cars. I think that's got another year or two left on that. It's going to become 134B.
Yeah, they're putting some others. They're putting what it's called like 1, 2, 3, 4 now. It's called 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the new cars. That came out in 2018.
Yeah. What you do is you just piss all that shit off into the air and put propane in it, and it'll work fine.
Yeah.
Hey, T-Bone Tom's out there. Hey, Tom Luciano, how you doing tonight, buddy? On the YouTube side.
Hey, Tom.
What do you do with a an old, like an R12 system, like a car from the 80s.
Either do propane or do hot shot. It'll work fine, but propane works the best.
Oh, what's hot shot?
It's a refrigerant blend
Uh-huh.
with some R12 in it.
I saw a YouTube video where a guy used computer air, computer cleaner.
That probably work.
The aerosol in the can that you clean your keyboard with and stuff.
Wow, that's a trip.
But I'll tell you what, if you put propane in it and just use whatever weight, say if it took 3 pounds or whatever, 2 pounds,
Right.
you put propane in there, it will work as good as the day it come from the factory. It's the same pressure, it's the same everything is 12.
So take all the 12 out, or just top it off with it.
Yeah, more likely the 12's all going to leak out anyway.
Right.
But yeah, all the when I was over there in Europe, I was talking to them over there in France. All their small stuff, I think it's up to 50 tons or something like that. They use propane in them now.
I mean, evacuate all the old 12 out and put propane in it.
Well, their new equipment is all made to run on propane for a gas.
No, I meant with the old system from the 80s.
Yeah, because like say if you put new hoses or whatever, if you got a leak and you got air in it, you should fix all your leaks.
Yeah, the compressor weeps.
And then get that fixed. If you don't, if not, then I would just go to atmosphere and then put it in there.
Yeah.
Make a little fitting. And the one thing about propane is it's like 12. You can run that in as a gas and really tweak the charge. It's a little bit different if the compressor's a little bit weak or whatever.
Right.
And it's real easy because you can suck it off as a gas because it's not a blend. That's the one thing nice about 12 and 22 and that you can put it in as a gas. You don't have to put it in as a liquid. So, but yeah, in an old car, I make up a thing. I put some propane in it. And everybody's like, "Yeah, but propane is explosive." And I'm like, "So is your gas and your gas tank."
Well, yeah. Well, the new stuff is flammable in the cars they put in now.
Right now, most all of it is 410A is it will burn. It's not explosive. It's flammable, whatever. But I mean, you got about in refrigerant. I think it's like 7 pounds per gallon. So if you put in 2 pounds in your car's air conditioner, you got a quart in there. And you got 20 gallons sitting in the gas tank of gasoline. And I mean, and if you hit and it did burn off, it probably wouldn't explode anyway. It'd be like a little torch under there. Because it can't flash back into the system. There's no
pressure drops to 0.
And then you got no pressure because a gas tank has air and fuel in it, and that's where it's explosive. Where HVAC system under pressure isn't going to explode; it's just going to burn because there's nothing to mix with oxygen. You put a vacuum on it, you got to run all the oxygen. There's nothing in there to burn.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they can't charge you enough money for propane. That's why you can't put it in your cars or anything else because it'd be cheap.
Yeah.
You could charge a whole unit for $1 or $2.
All of you guys out there that are watching this, sorry I'm not doing my moderatorly duties tonight and keeping on topic. I don't mind talking about air conditioning and stuff, but in fact, I like talking about hot rods and shit. But
see, you got us on the subject, Rusty, by saying you're going to go turn your air conditioning down.
Is that when it started?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, here,
Talk about it.
I'll switch to airplanes. We had our contest this past Sunday.
Yeah, I watched the video.
The president was, in town, at his favorite golf course.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And so, we were on the PFR, and a few of the guys in the club wrote letters and stuff, and we got an exemption.
All right.
To fly. So we were able to fly our, contest well, it's an RC field, and it's an RC flying field normally, but they were, we can fly our contest there this one day out of the year when they have this 4-H fair, and they have a lot of tents, so they won't let the RC guys fly, but they let us fly our tethered planes there. And, we did it for 2 years, but then when Trump became president, he always was in town, on the same day when we could have our contest. And the rangers at the park would not let us fly because of the TFR, the way the rules were, laid out, because we couldn't get an exemption for the control line. But now finally, with the help of the AMA and stuff, they finally got it through, and we were able to fly. So that was a big win.
Yep.
Was it a combat or a stunt or a combination? What kind of concept?
No, it was all stunt. It was a Pampa and old time.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So how'd you do?
There was 3 guys in intermediate. I won intermediate, but
Right.
I mean, the other 2 guys crashed. So I did the pattern.
Hey, you know what? You still won.
Yeah. I flew okay. I mean, my I got to work on my bottoms. My buddies are beating me up. Everybody's beating me up. My squares and my bottoms. They're. They want me to go to the next level. They want me to step up my game to get into the next level. So. But
Usually, are there only 3 guys in intermediate, or do you have bigger turnout in intermediate?
No, there's a bunch of, I forget, there's a bunch of advanced and expert guys there. Tom Luciano, Jim Pagani. Jim came in second. The junior that won the Nats won advanced by 1 point. What's his name? Stephen Daly.
Okay.
Yeah, he won advanced, and he beat Jim out by 1 point. And then I think they were like, something like 504, and then 503, and then his dad won expert, and there was a good crew there. I mean, Bob Hunt flew, and Tom and.
Oh, really? Bob came out, huh?
Yep, Bob Hunt
He doesn't have to board his dog for a short trip like that.
What's that?
Guess he doesn't have to board his dog for a short trip like that.
Yeah, no, he's not that far away.
Did Bob fly something new, or did he fly one of his older airplanes, or?
Yeah, electric Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I heard he has something new on the table, but I guess he didn't have it ready yet.
And Bob won, right?
No, Bob didn't win. No, Daly won.
Bob's probably out of practice. I would guess.
I think Bob. I think 5th or 6th. I think Dan Banjack was in there. I think Dan got 3rd.
Now that we've got this new Hangouts format, I need to, once we get the bugs worked out and I'm back in action full time, I need to invite Bob back in because I think he got frustrated.
Okay, Rusty, I just questioned it. You're positive. I don't want to hear no more of that other talk.
I'm sorry. What?
I said you're talking about the future, which is great.
Yeah.
When I first heard you on YouTube, you're talking like, "Oh, I'm not going to make it through this or that or the other thing."
I was just stating the possibilities, but yeah, I'm planning on being here.
Good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. So you're going to have to get him back on, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta get. There's a bad storm coming, and I gotta get stuff battened down. And
Really? You
yeah,
got
Oh,
we're getting something on my phone that coming in about midnight. So
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
be
All right,
safe.
Steve. Thanks
Yeah.
for hanging out with us, and I will see you. We'll see you when we do, and
All right.
whatever my schedule permits. So take
all
care.
right, well, let us know how it goes at least. Have,
Yeah,
have
I'll keep
Holly give
everybody
somebody
posted.
a call or whatever. So Friday night we let everybody know.
Yeah, I'll keep everybody posted.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right, take it easy. Tight lines.
have a good night.
Yep.
All right, Steve. Good night.
All right, guys.
All
I
right,
got-
good night, Steve.
He's making me look at the radar now.
You're a pretty good clip from where he is.
Charles, your body was flying pretty good there.
I have so many buddies. Which buddy you talking about?
The one that you put a video on.
Oh, you saw it. Yeah, he's you know, we actually we built it, and then it was just a little bit too sensitive for him, so I had him lengthen the elevator horn to almost an inch at least, and then we brought in the line space on the handle, and he was able to find neutral, and yeah, he flew pretty good. I agree.
Yeah, I saw the handle being biased a little bit and not centered, but it's definitely the light spans you go short. But it's good for beginning, excellent.
Yeah, I thought so too, and he's excited, and he showed his wife, and his wife got a kick out of it, and
Hmm.
so you know how like when some of us don't have a coach, right? And like myself, I don't have a coach, so I told him I'm recruiting you to be my coach.
Hmm.
So I'm going to teach him how to fly and show him the pattern on the
Hmm.
that critique, that one critique form we have. I'm going to have him do that and critique my patterns,
Yeah.
so I can get some coaching.
Hmm.
And
I'm
because sometimes that's what you got to do, because there's no one around me who's willing to coach me. So I'm just gonna,
might as well recruit them.
yeah,
I know.
Well,
Wages out here.
I kind of hit a plateau right now, and I was just trying to think about what am I doing wrong in my flying, and I can think of only two things, right? Number one, I think I watched the plane too much when I should be focused a little bit more on the background. So I'm gonna practice that a lot more from now on. And
That's a good point.
second, because I do that, I think I'm missing my intersections and maybe even my shapes. I mean, my shapes vary a little bit,
Yeah,
because uh, the plane is awesome. I have no issues with the plane or anything like that. And I was looking at my scores, and I'm kind of all over the place. Like in one flight, I do an hourglass, and I scored like 35s on it, and the other time around, I'm scoring on the same figure. Well, was that a 34 and a 34 actually? I like my hourglass thing. So, but I can look at them just side by side, and I vary wildly from flight to flight. Sometimes this maneuver is good, sometimes next maneuver is good, and so on and so forth. And
that flight
ah,
that we watched the other night, and I did a little
uh-huh.
impromptu judging. That was 2 years ago, wasn't it? In your career,
It was
wasn't it?
last year. I think it was Huntersville last year.
Oh, okay.
After that,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm flying right now. Typically, I'm doing a lot better on the bottoms on wingovers and
Hmm.
much cleaner exits and stuff like that. So and yeah, I did okay. I do 33s on wingover, then I do a 31. So I'm not exactly consistent. So even though all depends on the judges here, right?
It's so much harder than it appears to know when that plane is cutting the circle straight in half,
Uh-huh.
straight overhead at 90 degrees.
Yes. Yeah. But look, I'm scoring 553 on one judge, 535, 517 on the other judge, 527, 545s. So it's not bad, you know. But
I
I
mean,
think I'm missing little details here and there. That's what I need to work on. But I think it's mainly because I'm not watching the background more than I'm watching the plane.
Mhm.
So
That's
by
a good.
doing that, I'm focusing on the plane. I bet you I'm missing the tops and the bottoms a little bit, or the intersection points over there, stuff like that.
If
Yeah,
you're that serious, you should just go out there with a camcorder and video your pattern, and just
that's
look at it.
yeah, that's
That's
what I
the
want
best
to do. I
way.
want to video several of them,
Right.
just video like
So I
four,
do right
five,
there.
six
I
of
love
them,
practice.
And
and
then you could see it. Once you're looking at it,
mhm,
you
yeah.
could see your mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be my next step, especially when I like a coach or anything like that. And even,
They'll
Right.
probably look at the plane and a central focus, like you were saying too. That might be something I really need to add to my list of things to
Mhm,
things to look out for when I get back to it.
yeah,
And then
I
you got to
was.
have a background where you could, know your height. Your
I've
5 foot
I've
line.
never been good at
Your 6
remembering
line.
landmarks as I fly too.
Mhm,
I've
yeah,
always had a problem with landmarks, like a
Yeah.
TV tower in the distance or something, and use that. And I forget. I think about it academically. I know I should be doing it, and then when I start flying, I forget to apply that.
yeah. Well, I was trying to do that on one of my flights, and I found out that even
All
with
right,
that,
Jared. Take a
yeah, it
look
looks
at
nice. The
Jared's
number.
airplane.
Yeah,
Does that look like an outline of an overtail?
Yeah, it does.
yeah,
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. Especially
It
at
does.
50 miles an
Yeah.
hour, you never see it.
Did you take it off?
Yeah, I did an inverted touch and go up at Fargo.
Touch and go. Is that what's called nowadays?
He parted the lawn.
Very,
How did
very
it
Oh
cool.
fly
man.
without the vertical stab on it? Did it fly the same, or did you even test it?
What's that?
Did it keep flying, or you said it broke the prop when you did it,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it killed the motor, so it just skipped off the ground. I hit a real bad downdraft in the outside square 8 on the bottom, and it
Mhm.
just slammed it in the ground. But I mean, it just pancaked real quick and brief, and then it popped right back up, and then I just glided it over and landed it inverted in the grass.
Okay.
Very strong downdraft, aka a brain fart.
Yeah.
No, up in Fargo, it's a nasty place to fly if it's windy. They got trees all the way around, kind of like at Huntersville. And
Mhm.
there were 2 other guys that it happened to too, where you just pulled out and you're flying along and just bam,
Oh,
so
One of them Kansas wind
turbulence.
shears.
it happened to me. So
Probably the wind is coming over the trees and just comes over
yeah,
and makes
it
like a
comes over
negative
trees
roar.
Straight down.
and does this shit. So
Yeah.
Is there a road nearby on the other side of the trees?
is there a what?
A road, cars.
Yeah, there's a road on the one side and then trees all around it and then a river.
Right, because we have one of our fields. Steve knows it. The circle burners.
Yep.
And there's a road there, and if the truck goes whipping by at 50 miles an hour, it'll create a draft on the front circle. And
Yeah.
Yep.
and the
Yes,
guys,
it will.
they say there's a ghost there. When the bottom drops out.
No, then it hits the sides of the trees.
That's from the cars or the trucks going by sucking the air out, the vacuum.
Well, the circle burner field, that's like flying in a fishbowl already,
Yeah.
surrounded by the trees where the air comes in, goes through and pops, moves back out.
Right.
Yeah, well, the road that's by the field in Fargo, the traffic is it's idling by, so that wouldn't be an issue. But it's just the trees are right on the edge of the circle,
Mhm.
and just if the wind's coming out of the wrong 198
Well,
degree direction, it's really terrible to fly.
Yeah, that's never a good thing.
That's like golf nose going out to Whittier. Whittier has that. You fly at the far end circle, it's nice, but you fly in circle 1 over there against those trees, and where the highway's breezing by, and the way the air drafts into those trees, The first circle is a tough one.
Amen. I agree.
I don't care to fly in that first circle. The way it hits into the corners in there.
Whittier's in California, right?
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's California. Whittier, California. Whittier Narrows. You go to the far end circle, you go to the outside circle, it's a lot nicer. You can actually have more control.
I
You
was
get some back some of the side trees there, but it's not as
And the
pretty.
name Whittier Narrows, what does narrows mean? What does that refer to? Is that the terrain?
That's the
I
river through it.
What's that have to do with it? I don't know. That's just the name of the park. They charge you $6 to go into.
I was
Yeah.
I just know that's the name of the park.
I was playing with my plane.
That's a tough place to fly in there. That's a challenge at times.
So I was at this contest. I was just having some fun with it, and I said, let me see what it can really do, right? And I started to do an hourglass in 45-degree elevation.
Oh, crap. When I first started flying, I didn't know that everything wasn't supposed to be topping at 45. I was trying to do vertical eights at 45 degrees. That's not how it's done. What do you mean, straight overhead?
I can do an hourglass, a well-defined hourglass in 45 degrees. With actual flats and pullouts and tops and bottoms.
That's amazing.
And
if I wouldn't have left Friday, Tryon, I really would have loved to fly your plane, but Sparky and I left Friday after top 20.
Yeah.
So I missed a chance to fly your plane.
Yeah. I was.
Charles, how'd you do with the Nats?
And you know what I was doing after that?
Charles, how'd you do with the Nats?
I feel I did really good considering circumstances. I went there with no BOM, and I also flew Sparky's plane. I think I had like 3 patterns on it. Then I went into competition. So I mean, I did the best I could. I feel I did pretty good. I just didn't make it past. I didn't make it into the finals. But if I would have had more time with Sparky's plane, who knows? It might have been a lot more. Might have made it into the finals. Maybe, I don't know.
What were you flying? The Junar?
Yeah, I flew the Junar.
The orange one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Man.
That's a very good flying plane. And
interesting to let somebody fly his prized stunt ship.
I've seen that plane there in some of those pictures, but I didn't realize you were the one flying it.
Yeah, I flew it, and so it's a beautiful plane also. And I was kind of conservative and trying to save the plane, and I felt good giving him his plane back at the end of the contest.
I bet.
But you also know.
Now that's the one with the Tiger 60 in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Charles, you have to take some credit for it too, because was it in the finals or before? Oh, you didn't fly in the finals. Did you fly in the finals?
No, I just flew Wednesday and Thursday. I didn't make it into the finals.
So you didn't have to have fun in 12 to 15 miles per hour winds.
No, but that plane would have, actually there was some wind on Thursday, and it gave me a lot of confidence. That plane, the only thing it would do is, of course, when it's heading into the wind, it would slow down, but you'd just have to wait for it. But it didn't whip up, and it had plenty of power to go through the wind, and the wind could penetrate. So it's a very good.
If it slows down, it doesn't penetrate, Charles.
What?
Has it got a pretty narrow airfoil on it?
I said if a plane slows down, it does not penetrate.
Yeah, but maybe it's not as good as your plane, but it flew really good in my opinion. It did slow down going into the. Even commercial aircraft slows down when they go into the wind. And they got thin airfoil, so it slowed down a little bit. I'm not saying it was drastically slower, but it's a very good flying plane. I'm convinced now. I come back home to San Diego, and I'm so dissatisfied with all my planes. So it's I'm retrimming them. What I can do is retrim them, but I'm definitely motivated to build a better flying plane. You know what? I decided to stick with the Stragas because between the red Strega and the white Strega, and then the third one, I really think there's something to having a consistent airplane to fly because the best I've done was a couple years ago with the red Strega, got third in the state, and then I had a landing gear issue. Then I flew the Vector, and then the Vector came apart. Then I flew the Olympic, and there was another plane in between there. I've had so many planes, different power systems, and I'm just going to try to use these three planes so I have a consistent plane to fly. If something happens with one, I can go to the other, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that will help translate into. I've been going to contests really unprepared, going with a new airplane, or even like last year, I went to the state with two broken airplanes. I mean, someone probably in their right mind would not have even gone, but I was just so determined. I went there with two broken airplanes.
Yeah.
I
I
fixed
flew
it.
the yeah. I
Go
flew
ahead.
the Strega and I also flew the SVs and between the two I would pick up the SV.
Yep,
Um,
I agree.
it's a much better plane. But what I would do to the SV in addition to what it already has, the only thing I'll probably do different is like I take the wingtips and 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 thin them out about 75%. I mean, just like from if the current is 100%, I thin them out by 25% less at least.
And
So
what would that do, Tryon?
what?
What would that do besides making the wing lighter? What would that do?
You give you better lift distribution and it will fly better and would penetrate a lot better and it would through the windy conditions and you would not dance around like this in a wind. You would just stay nice and
Oh,
steady
okay.
wherever you put it. And when you um, that's I think that's a pretty much on any design, any control line design that you have out there, just
You
pretty
thin
much
out the
put them.
wingtips, it's gonna help the track better.
I'm sorry.
You thin out the wingtips, it'll help the track better.
Yeah, it has a lot of benefits to it.
Mhm.
I mean, just you can't go wrong with that because right now we have the wingtips are so thick compared to the root. You're producing a lot of lift around the wingtips, and the plane every time you go in a wind or something like that, if it sees a little bit of an imbalance of extra lift on one side or the other, just you wants to pop or just do these numbers, kind of go, you know it's not staying clean, right? It does
Okay.
boom,
I
kind of
did
like
that
that.
on this one, right? I went a little on this one here compared to my first one. I went a little thinner on the wingtips on it.
Yeah, that's always a good thing,
I like the
because
results on it.
mm,
Well, that's why I asked it because I really didn't know. So I will thin the wingtips on the Strega I have. So
yeah,
that's
on
why I
Strega
asked.
you can probably
I
cut it
didn't
in half,
know.
whatever
Okay,
you have over there, cut it in half the wingtip.
I'll try to do that.
But the Strega, yeah, Strega, I think is the problem with Strega. It's the airfoil is way too thick.
I agree. I
It
agree.
just it's just freaking massive. It's like flying with a
Yeah,
parachute. And when you fly it into the wind, it slows down and it go back with behind the wind, especially with the IC motors that because they don't have accelerometers and stuff like that to control the speed, the circular speed. It's just as the motor comes into the wind, it just kind of slows down, and then when the wind on the back is kind of shoots it over, right? And
I found the Stragas fly nice. I just found that they fly a smooth pattern, which is a larger pattern.
uh-huh, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I
no,
was going to try to quicken my controls to help me make the pattern a little bit smaller with the Strega.
hmm
And
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Man, I was having fun in the contest, just flying for fun, right? And I said, let me see what I can do, right? So I start to make some little teeny weeny square eights, right? So I'm probably in between here and here, kind of like
wow,
that. 15,
wow,
20-degree worth of was about half the size of us.
oh,
If
there we go, another Strega.
All right.
Nice.
so So I could make a square
Yeah.
8 inside of a regular square kind of thing.
So I like the
On that Strega, what do you mean by cut the wingtips in half?
The thickness of them.
Just the thickness of them at the tip.
Yeah.
that looks good.
That's 3 inches.
Yeah.
or
Look how massive that thing
Down,
is.
down.
I mean, it's just massive. It's way too much.
So where would you start the taper? How far in?
From the root.
Root
Even the
tip.
root, I just.
Are you saying to bevel them like this?
No, I'm saying like if you make a new set of ribs, probably keep the root as is, but the tip half as whatever is there.
Oh,
Oh,
you're saying to go like this.
Yes.
Right, bring them down.
Right, but
Yeah.
Taper it down.
how far into the
No,
span?
if you look from the top, you leave it the same.
Tip wing tip like that.
Yeah, 'cause
Bring
that
it one
wingtip's only about an inch wide, so if you don't have enough room to really thin it, you
Right.
start the wingtip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. See, I think maybe the root might be fine, right? But the tip has to be a lot thinner than what it is right now.
Okay. Yeah, I won't be doing that. I'm trying to get this quick build because the Golden State is in October,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping to finish this plane relatively quick. I'm taking a wing from an arc because the rules say you can have one prefab part, right? You just can't have two prefab parts. So I'm building a fuselage,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take the wing out of an arc, and I can do this relatively quick.
How are you gonna do it? I mean, you probably need to make a new wing for that.
I'm not going to do that. I won't get. I want to do something quick, so I'm not going to do that. I'll maybe. Yeah, I think my future is really going to be with the Tempest or the Thunder Gazer.
Mm-hmm.
The Strega is just to get me appearance points and get me a plane that I've built in a contest. I just haven't had a plane that I've built in a contest, and I've been paying the price for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at Steve McBride's Thunder Gazer right now. That's a pretty plane.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that has a thin wingtip on it as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
You see how that is? You go from the root, and the root is straight across, and when it gets down to the tip, it thins itself all the way down.
Yeah,
It tapers, it thins itself down.
And that's in an effort to get this elliptical wing distribution, lift distribution around the wing, right?
Great.
Yeah. See, even that one is kind of thick on the tips. I'll make it a little.
Allegra.
Tryon, did you ever try those vortex generators? Those
Yes, they
I
work.
never needed them, and I don't think I need them at all. I mean, just
They
I'm
work.
not
I
lacking
think you'd
tracking
be
or lift
opening up
or.
a can of worms you'd wish you'd left alone if you did that.
now, what plane is this? It says it's the regular. Does that mean a combination of a stiletto and a Strega?
Yeah, you got it. It's my dad's newest plane. It's a stiletto fuselage with a Strega wing.
Oh, that is cool.
Jared, how do you do this sharing?
I mean, the wingtip looks kind of thin.
Now it's a basically an arc Strega wing and then put into a extended stiletto fuselage.
Mm-hmm.
So
I bet
Very
you
nice.
this. I bet you this plane turns pretty good.
That's nice.
It looks really good. Your dad, he did a good job.
Is this your plane?
it's my dad's plane.
Did you ever fly it?
I've flown it once, and I need to get the handle more set up, for my liking.
Mm-hmm.
But it's similar to my Strega.
It's got a big elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The elevator is actually off of one of Dick Byron's planes called a Virgo. And see, this plane originally had the Virgo wing from one of Dick Byron's planes, and Dick Byron crashed that plane and destroyed the fuselage, but the wing and the stab was good, and he gave it to my dad, or gave it to somebody, and somehow my dad ended up with it. and he slapped together a fuselage real quick to try to experiment with a Tiger 60 because he was wanting to go from a 46 to the 60s. So he had no idea, what to make for tail moments, nose moment, all that type stuff. So he just flat out guessed and built this fuselage and then put that wing in it. And the thing flew so good that he then built his blue stiletto, that 770, the one that's been on Stunt Hangar I've posted, using the tail moments and nose moments from this fuselage and Virgo wing. And then when I was flying the plane, I ended up doing a rough landing and I broke the foam wing, the Virgo wing. And so the fuselage was just sitting in the basement for years. And when I was putting my Strega together, I got looking at it and I said, hey, Dad, why don't we just take that fuselage, hog that out a little bit and slide a Strega wing in it and, rebuild it. And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So at the time, the fuselage was real bare bones. It didn't have a turtle deck on it, didn't have a canopy. It was just a bare fuselage that had like a stiletto tail on it. So when he went and did this one, he went ahead and added the turtle deck and the canopy and finished off the stiletto fuselage, but then has a Strega wing in it.
I love the simple paint job too. It's
elegant. It's very
very
clean.
nice.
Yeah,
very
it's
nice.
like
It's painted kind of to resemble one of Les McDonald's stilettos.
Man, it looks good.
So
see a nice paint job doesn't have to be complicated at all.
No, it doesn't, and it's so easy to get carried away with making it overcomplicated when something like this is just gorgeous.
Yes.
I might borrow that paint job.
I might have to.
If you want to do